Street Promenade, where you have our peaceful protester and one of the most beautiful voices in the world, Mr. Kelley.
Oh, that's too sweet. That's too sweet. It almost makes me want to cry. I tell you. Thank you, Ethan Hyatt, and thank you, Lady Boom Boom, Lady Boom Garden. Thank you, and welcome to my show. Welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people.
That's right, 2 billion people.
Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole U.S. of A. Thank you. And the whole wide world if we could do something about it. But we have to start somewhere, so we might as well start right here in Santa Monica. That's right. Wonderful to see you, Lady Boom. I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again this year. And I hope we will all be talking about the issues. Because last night I was in a forum, a neighborhood forum. I guess it's called the Wilmont Neighborhood Forum. There were 11 candidates for Santa Monica City Council last night. And, there was only one candidate that proposed using 25% of the Santa Monica airport property that will be given to the city in 2028, the end of 2028. To use 25% of that airport property to build affordable housing. And that was me. Out of 11 candidates, can you believe that? None of those people want to use any of that airport property to build any affordable housing. They just want to criminalize homelessness here in Santa Monica. And they want to push the poor people down the road, but they don't want to take part in building any affordable housing for the homeless, for those people that work in Santa Monica. I was just talking with one of the city employees here. He lives in Inglewood. He doesn't live here in Santa Monica. He's been working for the city of Santa Monica for 14 years, and he still can't afford a place to live in Santa Monica. And he's not alone. There's a small percentage of the Santa Monica employees who can live in Santa Monica because the housing costs are too damn high. That's right. Because it costs way too much. Santa Monica was recently, this year, on a list as the 2nd most unaffordable city in the country. That's right. They said just behind San Diego, Santa Monica was the 2nd most unaffordable city in the country. And we need to stand up for human beings' rights in this city. We need to tell these people that run this city, listen, stand up for human rights. Stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness and start building affordable housing and start building shelters for those homeless human beings. It's a real shame here in Santa Monica. I'm not running for Santa Monica City Council because I am so thirsty for power or I want the salary that they're going to pay the Santa Monica City Council. I think it's like $20,000. I am running for Santa Monica City Council to stand up for human rights because I have seen over the years as I've been playing here on this promenade, I have seen the way that they treat homeless human beings and poor people. We're just a few blocks from the Pacific Ocean, a few blocks from our public beaches. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California. and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. That's right, because they've pushed all the poor people down the road. And when you push all the poor people out, you're pushing out a lot of people of color. Because we haven't reached any kind of equity in this country. We haven't gotten to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We're still working at it. Hopefully we're working at it, but we haven't gotten near to making sure that everybody has equal rights yet. These people who talk about get rid of the DEI and get rid of talking about race, they say we've already reached equality in this country. No, we haven't. It is still 10 times more likely for a young black man to go to prison than a young white man here in California. Can you believe that? That's a shame. It is still many times more likely for a young Hispanic man to go to prison in California than a young white man. We haven't reached equality yet. We have to keep working at it. You know, here in California, we have 40% of our schools have 90% of people of color. 40%, less than half of the schools in California have most of the people of color. And then the other 60% are mostly white kids, because we still haven't integrated enough here in California. And we spend a lot of money on some schools, but a lot of schools are very underfunded. And overall, California, we are ranked 20th. I'll take that back. I heard one of the California candidates say we are ranked 30th in spending on public education in this country. We are the 4th largest economy in the world, and we are ranked 30th in spending on public education. That's a shame, California. That's a shame. We need to be at the top of the list. We are the 4th largest economy in the whole wide world. If we were a country, it's just a shame that we're not doing enough to keep integrating and keep lifting the poor up and making sure that every poor person has the basics in this 4th largest economy of the world. We gotta keep working to a better day, because we haven't gotten there yet. Good to see you guys. We have to keep working to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. You know, at this forum that I spoke at last night with the other Santa Monica City Council candidates, former Mayor Lana Negretti, who is now a city council member, she cheered. She said, well, I'm happy that I had the police enforce the no sitting, no lying laws. They have laws here in Santa Monica that say you can't sit on the curb, or you can't lie down on the sidewalk, or you're going to get a citation. They're happy about that. They take away the park benches, and I don't know if you've noticed, but they lock up chairs and benches at night. They lock up the chairs here on the promenade, except for the businesses. You know, the businesses have chairs, but the poor people can't sit on the business chairs. So if a poor person is sitting on the sidewalk or on the curb here in Santa Monica, they can be given a citation. That's right. They just want to make it harder for these poor people, for these homeless human beings, these poor human beings. That's why right now, last year in Santa Monica, 72% of all of the arrests in Santa Monica were homeless human beings. Less than 1% of the population. Homeless human beings were arrested 72% of the time here in Santa Monica. That is cruel and inhumane. I hope you agree. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again this year, to stand up for human rights and to tell people we need to use 25% of that airport property that will be given to the city at the end of 2028. Use 25% of that to build affordable housing. And you know, last night I was in a forum with 10 other candidates, and not one of those other candidates would even propose using any of that airport property to build affordable housing. I guess they don't realize we're in a housing crisis. I think they just want to criminalize homelessness. Peace. You have a good night. Stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. We can do it. We can make things better. And that's why I am running for Santa Monica City Council again this year in 2026. To tell everybody we need to build affordable housing and to stand up and say, listen, poor people can run for office too. A poor homeless guy like me can run for office. That's right, I'm homeless also, but I have friends that I can stay with and I have a car. So I don't have it near as bad as many of these homeless human beings. I saw one guy, a friend of mine, he was arrested for hanging out in one of these parking structures very early in the morning when there was nobody in the parking structure. He was arrested. Then they let him go and he had a court date. He didn't meet that court date for loitering in the parking structure. So he was arrested again for loitering. No, this time he was just sitting over here next to the Wells Fargo Bank on the wall there. He sits there and smokes cigarettes and drinks coffee. And they arrested him again. And when they released him, they said he had to come to court, and a $30,000 fine is what they were giving him. You're going to give homeless people a $30,000 fine? How is that supposed to help anybody? He's not going to be able to pay it. You're just making his life worse, and you're not building any affordable housing in Santa Monica. You're just picking on poor people and homeless people. And that's wrong. That's inhumane. And that's why I am running for Santa Monica City Council again this year. And I hope if you are a Santa Monica voter that you will vote for me. Ernest, are you a Santa Monica voter? Yeah, no? Okay, well, I hope you can get some housing here in Santa Monica, because city workers should be able to find some housing in the city they work in. We need to make it easier for them. You have a good night. Good to see you. We need to stand up for the rights, human rights of human beings. And that's what our leaders need to be doing, not standing up for businesses and trying to criminalize poverty and homeless. I'm really appalled at the way that these people running for office are so cavalier about saying, no, that 192 acres of airport property has to be just a great park. We can't have any affordable housing on that 192 acres of land. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. That's right, and we can help them. You know, we can build shelters We could build safe spaces for the homeless to pitch a tent in and have 24-hour secure public restrooms and maybe some showers and stuff like that, and some caseworkers to help them try and figure out how they're going to get into housing when we build the housing. We could do that. We could make sure that these people going through homelessness have it a little easier until we build enough affordable housing. But instead, we are criminalizing homelessness. We are telling people that you've got to get out of Santa Monica or we're going to put you in jail. That's what we do. And you know what? They're closing down. They're planning to close down Sam O'Shell Shelter, a 60-bed shelter that has some problems and has many complaints about being a rough place to be sheltered. But that is a city-owned property, a city-owned shelter. And if it has 60 beds that are not working out well, maybe you can make it a 30 or 40 bed shelter and put cubicles in it because it's owned by the city. Instead, they're closing it down and they want to lease 40 beds at a shelter over in Bell, the city of Bell, a more densely populated, more racially diverse city than the city of Santa Monica. Santa Monica is 70% white, and we are pushing the poor people out continually. And therefore, we are pushing out people of color. You know, last week we spoke about standing up for equal rights at the Santa Monica City Council meeting, and I reminded people that 30% of the homeless population are Black Americans, while only 5%, less than 5% of Santa Monicans are Black Americans. So we have a lot of Black Americans that are homeless here in California and here in Santa Monica, and we need to stand up for their rights, and we need to keep integrating to make sure that Black Americans, which make up 5% of California, aren't 30% of the homeless population. We need to make sure that they have housing. We need to make sure that every poor person has the basics, has a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. We can do those things right here in Santa Monica, but we're moving in the wrong direction. The people running Santa Monica say, we can't handle all of the homeless population. They come from everywhere, and they're inundating Santa Monica with homeless people. And they're not from Santa Monica. We shouldn't have to take care of all of them. That's what they say. Then the other night at a Measure GS meeting, I asked the new director of Housing and Human Services here in Santa Monica, I said, well, if we don't want to be responsible for every homeless human being that comes here because they come from other places, how many homeless human beings should Santa Monica be responsible for? How many? Give me a number. Do you have a number? They said, well, we're going to have to work on it and figure that out. We have a formula to figure out which homeless human beings actually should be taken care of, and they're just trying to get rid of the poor people. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of the homeless people. That's what they're doing. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere in love I belong. somewhere they belong, and I'm looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right. We can help them. We can make sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. In this fourth largest economy of the world, California. In this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, California. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising hands. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right, Santa Monica. We could be part of the solution instead of continuing to be part of the problem. Instead of pushing poor people down the road and making it harder and harder for them to survive, we could be building affordable housing. We could be making sure we have safe spaces for homeless people to build tents or to pitch tents and have 24-hour secure restrooms and showers and people to help people find services. We could do those things. But instead, we're criminalizing poverty. We're criminalizing homelessness. We can do better, Santa Monica. Tell your leaders, your public servants. Let's build affordable housing over on that Santa Monica airport property when it is given to the city. Use 25% of that Santa Monica airport property to build 3,000 units of housing, affordable housing. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary head. That's right. They're looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads, and we could help them. We could make sure that everybody who needs a place to live has one here in this richest, most powerful country in the world, in this fourth largest economy of the world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, as we did help Joaquin, Ronald Williams, and Santa Monica, you're living in Santa Monica, so now you have some subsidized housing in Santa Monica, even though somebody outside of Santa Monica was the reason that you got that subsidized housing. I understand that part. But right now, you know, they're trying to push more and more people out of Santa Monica so they don't have to help them in Santa Monica. You know, they're putting them in programs. I was talking to a young man the other day. He's a musician, Joe Manio here, and he said they sent him over to Samo Bridge, and he was there for a day. And they said, "Well, you don't have any drug problems, so we're going to send you to this shelter." So they sent him to a drug rehab place, even though he didn't have any drug problems. They sent him there. How you doing? Good to see you. Peace. They sent him there with these people over in somewhere in South Central, where a lot of the other people were ex-convicts. And this is a young guy who went to college and he's looking for shelter beds. He just wanted a shelter bed. And they sent him to a rehab place that has a 30-day lockdown to start with. You know about these things, Ronald. You want to come over here and talk?
The issue, listen to what you just said. You have a mental health issue that live out here, that come out here.
Uh-huh.
You have a veterans issue that comes out here.
Uh-huh.
You have a last stop issue, 720 bus stops here, the train stops here, the 33 stops here, and it runs all night long.
Okay.
All night long.
Right.
So remember, Skid Row was founded on the last stop of the train. So Santa Monica now at nighttime from the day has a massive fluctuation of people driving the train to be safe because they can't get housing.
I understand what you're saying, and that's
because they don't want to go to the rehab that you're saying. Meaning, I'm gonna come to you for help, but you send me to a place that's all full of drug addicts and ex-convicts. But I don't want that. I just want a place to live. So they begin to live in the trains, and they send them out and say, "Why do we have so many people coming here? We don't want to do nothing for them because they're all coming here."
what's going on there.
But they're coming here because it's not they're being requested Santa Monica. Remember, they have those.
So they're not choosing Santa Monica. This is just the last stop on the train, on this part of the train. And there are other trains that end in other places where people are getting have the same issue. And I'm sure that there's some validity to some of that. But but
Give that little pamphlet that says what? Go get help from the place we was talking about.
They say go to. They say
look at them all. Show them all.
They say
they're the directors.
they say.
They direct them to go to that program.
I know that, and
so
they
now
know.
the person just got off that bus doesn't know no better. This is little pamphlet, and they tell them, yeah, you can get help here.
The police are also referring people to the Samo Bridge program.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But anyway, so the thing is, okay, so the thing is that the people concerned, they will refer people who come there. They'll say, there are no shelter beds in Santa Monica tonight. So you have to go to these other places around the city. They send them all. They send them all out. But the thing is, the other night at the Measure GS meeting, Measure GS Resident Oversight Committee, which I am on, the new Director of Housing and Human Services, Aileen Reynolds, said, I asked her, how many should we be responsible for? How many homeless human beings? I know everybody's complaining about the homeless people inundating Santa Monica from everywhere. And I said, how many should we be responsible for?
May I give you an answer?
And
may I give you an answer to that?
Right.
May I offer you an answer?
Go ahead.
The most beautiful answer I may offer you, what I believe. The only time that you should ever look down on another human being is when you extend your hand to lift them up. Does that answer your question?
What?
The only time you should ever look down on another human being.
I understand that, but how are you determining? See, a lot of these people, they don't want to count any homeless people as residents of Santa Monica. They don't want to give them services. They want to push them to another place. So
the same way as they don't want to put on the news, the murders that just happened in Santa Monica, the rape that just happened on campus, the crime that's happening every day because now tourism is going to go down.
These things happen.
Tourism is going to go down.
I understand.
So if I have homeless living here and people Google and they see crime, they're not going to come here. And then when you show that everything's closed down and you show the dirt.
I don't care if everything closes down. If you're not treating people with human rights, if you're not treating people with human dignity, and if you're treating poor people as though they are criminals for being poor and homeless, it doesn't matter how well your business is doing because you're not doing the job of government.
They said the homeless was the cause. Remember?
I know they say the homeless is the cause.
They hired a whole group
That's
of people.
right.
They hired a whole group of people.
I know, and
you can't sit here.
that's why we need to tell them that they cannot
You understand? They
criminalize
spent money. They
homelessness.
spent money.
I understand
They put
that,
the law
and
out.
that's why I'm telling you.
They put the law out saying
That's why I'm telling
can't
you,
sleep in the tent.
if you are able to register to vote here in Santa Monica, I hope you do, because we need to make sure that we use 25% of that airport property to build 3,000 units of housing.
They can't.
We can't. They can't.
In 1982, you can't
No.
build no new structures. No, I'll send it to you.
No, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I'll
That's
send
wrong.
it to you.
But
I'll send it to you.
send it to me and we'll talk about it. But it's not. It's
I'll just.
that has nothing to do with the airport property.
The city structure says
I'm-
you can't build no.
I'm sorry.
on that property. I'll send it to you.
You go ahead and send it to me, but it's not a thing.
But that's what city council did. The city council
I
did that.
understand.
The city council here did it in 1982.
I'm not gonna argue with
Have a
you.
great
You
day.
send me the stuff and
Yes, sir.
I'll rebut it and I'll
I
get
sent
you
I
the
sent-
information.
I sent you one yesterday.
Yeah, you send me stuff
I sent you-
sometimes
I
of
got
videos
all the-
about people,
I sent you all the people in Santa Monica that are against the home.
I know,
Organizations.
and they're everywhere. And I just spoke at a forum last night. Dorian, come here. All right, have a good night, Ronald. Wakil. People get a lot of different information in a lot of different places, and that's understandable. But I just spoke at this forum last night. How you doing? Is this good?
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Do you need more?
Sure.
A little more? Are you eating? Are you able to take care of yourself right now? Things going better? Yeah. How much? 2, 4?
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Your night's going good.
What?
Your night's going good.
Hey, I hope you register to vote this year. I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again. And I want to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And I want things to get better for you and everybody who's had to struggle living on the streets here in Santa Monica. That's what I want to happen, is for Santa Monica to stand up and say, these are human beings. We are responsible for a good number of these human beings who are sleeping in the streets, who don't have a place to live. Right now, they don't want to take responsibility for any of the human beings sleeping in the streets, other than to arrest them and to send them to some program in another city. And the idea that they are trying to lease shelter beds from the Salvation Army in another city, the city of Bell, they want to pay to get the poor people in the city of, push them into the city of Bell, instead of building shelter beds right here or having safe spaces right here for homeless human beings. They want to continue to criminalize homelessness in this city. Lana Negretti, she said that she is happy that they are enforcing the no lying, no sitting law here in Santa Monica, while they take down permanent seating structures, and then while they lock up chairs at night right here on the Santa Monica 3rd Street Promenade, making it harder for homeless people to have a decent place to sit and relax. I will remind you that around the topiaries here in Santa Monica, where they have the dinosaur topiaries, there are concrete slabs that you can sit on any time of day, because those are exempt from the no sitting, no lying law here in Santa Monica, unless they've changed that also. They change laws all the time to try to crack down on poor people and homeless people here in Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running. That's why I will run again for Santa Monica City Council this year in 2026. Because too many of our leaders are blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. They're saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's what they say. That's right. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. That's right. They just want people to be rich here in Santa Monica. You know, I thought I'd see who was running for Santa Monica City Council last night. That's why I told this John Smith that I would speak at the Wilmont Neighborhood Association, I guess, something like that. It's one of these neighborhood groups over here in the northeastern part of Santa Monica. And you know, they have these neighborhood groups all around Santa Monica that get together and talk about what they want to achieve as a neighborhood group. And every time there's some affordable housing project that is coming to the city of Santa Monica, they get up in arms and they go to the city council. They say, we can't have any affordable housing in our neighborhood. That would just ruin our neighborhood. We have little kids, you know. We have little kids and they can't see poor people. It's bad for them. All the poor people all the homeless people are mentally ill, and none of the other people in our neighborhood are mentally ill. That's what a lot of people think. They think all the homeless people are mentally ill. When we have about 40% of our population in this country that have some sort of mental illness, some sort of mental disability, take drugs for something to help them a little bit. I gotta have a few beers at night. I gotta have a few tranquilizers during the day. I gotta have a few whatever. We do have mental disabilities in this country, but do you think it would help our mental health in this country if people had to sleep on the streets? No, it's not good for their mental health to have to find a decent place to sleep every night, a safe place to sleep where they are not harassed. You know, the life expectancy for somebody in housing is 79 years old here in the United States of America. 79 years old. But if you are homeless, the life expectancy of people living on the streets is around 50 years old. That's right. And we have our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. All the rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther down the road would be good. That's how they used to do it. Now they take their tents and stuff and put them in the dumpster. That's right. They put their tents and stuff in the garbage can, and they give these people a 60-gallon bag and say, listen, you have to fit all of your belongings in this 60-gallon bag, and we're going to throw away everything else because you're poor and you don't deserve to have stuff. You don't have a place to live, so you don't deserve to have stuff. That's how they treat people here. Right here in Santa Monica, as well as all around California now, they're doing that. And it's just a shame. We need to stand up against cruelty. We need to stand up against these leaders who would blame the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. We need to stand up against any candidate for governor here in California who won't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Katie Porter, we can't vote for you because you won't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act. That's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires in the state of California. I know it's just a start, but it's a good start. And we need to stand up and raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. Katie Porter, you talk about how this Billionaire Tax Act is not the right tax that we need. Well, there are no other billionaire taxes on the ballot this year. So you better get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. If you can't get behind it, we can't vote for you. Let's make it that clear. Becerra, if you can't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, we can't vote for you. Hey, Mahan, if you can't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, we can't vote for you. Hello. Tom Steyer is the only one so far that has said he is for the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, and he kind of apologizes for being for it. It's a shame that he can't just say, yes, I'm for it, and any billionaire who isn't willing to pay that 5% wealth tax should leave California, because we need to stand up for the rights of poor people, poor human beings who are trying to survive here in California. You don't need to apologize for getting behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. You get the idea, sing along with me, right? The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. We got to speak out. We got to sing it loud and proud. We got to say, no, we don't have to apologize for raising your taxes. That's part of the Constitution of the United States of America. Congress is supposed to raise taxes when there's an imbalance. And if Congress won't do it nationally, here in California, we can raise taxes on the billionaires that are here to make up for the imbalance. There are people having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets, while poor people are being criminalized for sleeping in the streets. That is a shame. We need to stand up and speak out. Too many of our leaders are blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You got to get a yacht, you know what I mean? You poor people need a yacht to live on. because you can't sleep in your car here in Santa Monica. You know, they have laws in Santa Monica that criminalize homelessness and sleeping in your car here in Santa Monica. That's the way they treat poor people here. And we need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again this year, to stand up for human rights, because we have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta have a yacht. Gotta get a yacht. Other rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing upon Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. That's right. If you want to live in Santa Monica, you better be rich. Because Santa Monica doesn't want to take any responsibility for its poor people. It doesn't want to take responsibility for any of its homeless human beings that have been living here on the streets for years. It only wants to take responsibility for its rich people here in Santa Monica. It wants to push the poor people down the road. It wants to put them into programs in some other part of the county. We can't help them here. There are too many. They're inundating us, but we don't know how many we should take care of in Santa Monica. And we're moving shelter beds to other cities. It's really a terrible situation. You know, it's worse than when Phil Brock was mayor. I know that's hard to believe. Phil Brock said to me when he saw me on the street, he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Culver City." He said, "Well, I can help you get back there." I said, "No, that was where I was born. I haven't lived in Culver City since I was born. I don't need you to help me to get back anywhere." That was his favorite program, was trying to help people move back to where they were born, or to give them a ticket, a bus ticket out of town. That's what his favorite program was. How you doing? Can I help you with a little something here? Sir? Gentlemen? Sir? Young man? Anyway, that was Phil Brock's favorite program, is to try and give people a bus ticket out of town so that they could go back to wherever they came from. That's it. Can I give this to you? You doing all right? You want to take this? I have it for you if you'd like. Okay, you have a good night. Peace. But that's not the answer. You know, there's a lot of people here in Santa Monica that have moved here from different places. And some of those people end up in the streets. And we need to help those people. We don't need to arrest them or or push them into programs that they might not want or might not need. We don't need to put people in jail because they're homeless. That's not humane. That's not the right answer. We need to stand up for human rights. We need to tell people that they have a right to survive here in the United States, right here in Santa Monica, even though they're poor and homeless. We need to build affordable housing. We need to have programs to help human beings. We have so many empty buildings right here on this promenade. I'd like to see a nice big community center here on this promenade that will help connect people with programs they need. And it should be run by the city, because otherwise you get these nonprofit groups in between, and the city doesn't really control them. The city doesn't really oversee what's happening in these nonprofits. They're going to have to learn to do some of the work themselves, because they're not doing the health care, the mental health programs. They come from the county, but the city can help build shelter beds and make sure that people can have a decent place to go for help. Pepper. I don't know Pepper. I know songs about. How about this one? Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Ah, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Ah, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime, or it shouldn't be a crime. That's right.
You have a live?
I'm going live right now. No, this is YouTube. This is my YouTube TV show. What's your name? Cassius is here joining us on this show here.
I doubt any people watch this.
I doubt anybody does myself.
How many people are
Well, I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather live in a box in the bottom of a ditch than be some steel and sheet lies on me.
Guys, what do
Rather
you
be
think
poor
of me?
than be filthy rich.
What do you think of me, guys? What do you think of me?
Nobody gets to comment because I don't like people to say bad things about anybody. So I keep the chat off the air there.
Why?
Because I got something to say. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council this year. I want to stand up for human rights.
Are you Tom? Tom, what's his name?
No, I'm Wade Kelley. Wade Kelley.
I'm voting for the Tom guy.
Okay. Well, are you a voter in
Yeah.
Santa Monica? Okay. Well, I hope you vote for Wade Kelley, because I'm going to stand up for human rights for the homeless human beings
Yeah, look,
and those people that are being criminalized for being poor.
Guys, what? Like the live if you think I'm real. You can't see likes.
Can't see lights?
Like when they like you.
Oh no, I don't see it either.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you, peace. You spread the peace and love and stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. We need to build affordable housing on the airport property, right? When it's given to the city at the end of 2028. Build 3,000 units of affordable housing on 44 acres of that airport property land. And you still have 148 acres for a great park. Come on. That's still a great park at 148 acres. And you can build affordable housing. And that's what we need. We need a lot more affordable housing here in Santa Monica. Some people say, well, we want affordable housing, but we want it other places. But then every time somebody tries to build some affordable housing in another neighborhood, those neighborhoods go crazy. Oh, not in our neighborhood. We can't have no affordable housing. We have to keep up our property values. It's a shame. Well, I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather live in a box in the bottom of a ditch than be some stealing cheap asshole bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather walk around without a stitch than be some warmongering son of a bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. Let's try that one more time, can we? I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather walk around without a stitch than be some democracy overthrowing son of a bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Not tonight. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil. Bloodsuckers. Some of them are just sick. They're like hoarders or alcoholics or drug addicts. They get a little bit of money and they just got to get more and more and more and more and more. More, 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 more. Let's look at Elon Musk. They say Elon Musk is on his way to becoming our first trillionaire. Well, what we need to do is raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies. But you say, I hear you, you say, we can't raise taxes on the billionaires while Trump's in office. Well, we might not be able to raise taxes on the billionaires nationally, but here in California we can. We can get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. So, no, we can't raise taxes on Elon Musk because he took up his toys and he went to Texas because he didn't like the way California treated him. So he went to take advantage of the poor people in Texas, where they still have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage on the books. I know people get more than that usually, but they still have it on their books there. So he's going to take advantage of a lot of poor people right down there. But we can raise taxes on all the billionaires here in California and make sure they pay a 5% wealth tax over 5 years. And that would raise hundreds of millions of dollars to help poor people have good health care in this state. Because federal money is going to be taken away from these poor people here and their wealth care program. And we want to stand up for our health care program here in California, because some states don't have any health care for the poor people. They don't have any dental care for their poor people. I get my teeth cleaned, thank you. I get to keep my teeth because of California's dental care program. And while I was in New York, some of their dental program for the poor. Because I've tried to stay poor most of my adult life, to the chagrin or to the displeasure of many. But I have tried to stay poor and follow my art and my heart. And sometimes the other part. No, I didn't say that. But, you know, we got to stand up for the rights of the poor to continue to live in this country without being criminalized and homeless. I mean, be criminalized for being homeless. And we need to raise taxes on those rich. So we just raise taxes on all the billionaires here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Hello, Liliana. How are you? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Well, I usually run the people off with my singing and talking, and that's what I lose my followers right and left. But that's all right. I'm out here to talk about standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. Are you still over at Santa Monica College? I'd love to come there and speak this fall because I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again, and I want to stand up I want to talk about the initiative, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on the airport property when it is given to the city at the end of 2028.
We'll sign up to speak
Where?
at
the
college. You gotta go and ask permission.
Who do I talk to there at Santa Monica College?
Well, go to the student services and see.
Student services?
Yeah.
All right.
It won't hurt for you to take a class.
No, I'm not going to take a class. I'm running for office. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. I want to talk to them about getting involved in civic politics and standing up for human rights because they're criminalizing homelessness here in Santa Monica. Okay. Well, I'll look into that. But if you find out, thank you.
They'll give you directions.
Thank you. But if you hear anything, if you find out anything, let me know. And good to see you, Liliana.
Yeah, I don't know who is there, you know.
Okay, but I'm glad you're taking classes still. Yeah, I know. But if you hear any kind of forums or anything, thank you very much. Good to see you, Liliana. It's still very early in the campaign process. I haven't even filed the papers. You can't file the papers until July 13th, but to my chagrin, they were having a forum from one of these neighborhood organizations. So they're trying to get their funding in place right now. You know, last election for city council, they raised over $500,000 for the city council elections here in Santa Monica. Over $500,000 they spent on the city council elections in 2024. I spent zero. I might have spent a little on ink to make some signs and stuff, but I didn't raise money, and I'm not going to. Any donations that are given to me, I will be sharing with the homeless people. Because we need to raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. That's right. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California, not in Santa Monica. That's a different thing. But we need to tell all of our candidates for governor, get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. How you doing? Can I give you a little something? Can I give you a little something there? Hello? Can I give you something? Would you like a few dollars? How you doing? Getting by okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace. That's right. We need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Raise taxes on the billionaires, a 5% wealth tax. Let's tell all of our candidates for governor, if you don't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act, we can't vote for you. I don't care who you are or how progressive you think you are. If you can't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, you don't get our vote. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye. Not tonight, hopefully not tonight. Well, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Woo, woo. And I'll keep on working at it. That's right. I want to die poor. I don't know about you, but I do. I want to die poor just like a homeless human being. I want to die with the basics that they give the poor people, the homeless people. I know I already have too much. My mom left me her car. So I have a car and I have friends that I can stay with. And I got a little Social Security. By the way, Social Security is another thing we need to be talking about down the road. I can't do anything about it right here in Santa Monica, but we need to raise the cap on Social Security taxes for the rich people, raise their taxes for the Social Security, and also lower the cap for the people that get Social Security. Somebody who's making over $100,000 a year when they're retired doesn't need to be getting Social Security payments. It's to help lift people up when they get old and they need help. Sure, we should be looking out for fraud all the time, but we need to make sure that poor people can survive a little better in this country. That's what that Social Security was meant for when it was first put in place in 1935, to help people when they got to be a certain age, to be a safety net, to help people lift people up. Now I get a little of that actor's pension, a little of that actor's equity pension. I don't know if I'll be getting much of anything else, but I still live way below the poverty level, and that's fine by me. I think government should help people when they get to be a certain age, especially to help, and everybody should have the basics in this country. We live in the richest, most powerful country in the world. Nobody should worry about having a place to live, especially with all these empty buildings everywhere all around here. There's plenty of places for people to live. Ain't that right, Enoch? Good to see you. Peace. Hey, Enoch, I'm running again for Santa Monica City Council this year. I hope to get your vote. If you vote here in Santa Monica, you can vote for me. All right, thank you, Enoch. Good to see you. We need to stand up for human rights. That's got to be the most important thing. All these people at this forum last night talking about big business, and we got this rock concert coming on the beach, and we got these new programs, these concerts where we're going to make a lot of money, and Santa Monica is going to be the toast of the town. Well, if you are criminalizing poverty, that you lose right there. If you are criminalizing homelessness, you lose right there. You are no longer a good city. You're a city that stands with people like Trump. You're a city that stands against human rights and for big business, and that's what these city council members are doing. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, because we got to stand up against people just tearing down the poor and making it hard for them to survive, and standing up and kissing the behinds of the rich people. I got nothing against people making a living, and nothing against people making a lot of money if the poor people are going to have the basics. If you want to go out there and you want to wear diamond bracelets and all kinds of what, that's beautiful. You do it. But make sure that the poor people can have a little bread to eat, Marie Antoinette. You make sure that the poor people can have the basics, then I don't care how rich you are. But when you have fewer and fewer people owning more and more of the country all the time, and complaining about paying taxes like here in California, if you raise the taxes on the billionaires in California, the billionaires are going to leave. There's the door, buddy. Hey, go take advantage of somebody else in some other state. We don't need those kind of people here in California. We want rich people who want to help lift people out of poverty and make sure that every child can have a good public education. And we need the leaders in place to make sure that those things get done. I was very disappointed with the new director of Housing and Human Services here in Santa Monica. Did not know about Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling. That's right. Grants Pass versus Johnson is the ruling that gave these Western states under the jurisdiction of the Ninth Circuit Court. They overturned the Ninth Circuit Court's ruling in Martin v. Boise that if a city didn't have enough shelter beds, that they couldn't criminalize people sleeping in tents or sleeping in public places. That's what that ruling used to be. How are you doing? Good to see you. Peace. But then in Grants Pass versus Johnson, the Supreme Court, with a friend of the court brief by none other than Gavin Newsom, he said to the Supreme Court, please let me criminalize homelessness because I want to clean up the streets in California. Please let me criminalize homelessness. And that's exactly what they did. You have a good night. That's exactly what Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court did. They let these Western states criminalize homelessness, as much of the other states already were doing. And now, last year in San Francisco, the arrest rate for homeless people went up over 500%. Here in Santa Monica, 75% of all the arrests last year were homeless human beings. Less than 1% of the population arrested 72% of the time. Did I say 75? It was close in the area. 72% of the time. That is cruel and inhumane. And we got people cheering that. Oh, good, let's get the homeless people off the streets. And you know that our governor, Gavin Newsom, again the other night on Bill Maher, he said, well, we've reduced the number of unsheltered homeless people by 9%. You know how you reduce the unsheltered homeless people? By putting them in jail and forcing them into programs they may or may not need. Not because they're getting housing, not because you're building shelters. You're just pushing people into jails and other programs forcing people into programs that they may or may not need, or may not, most of them don't want. And you're just forcing them into jail and other programs. It is a shame, Santa Monica. It is a shame, California. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? Tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How much does the rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? Tell me, when will we see the end of the days when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much, how much, how much? That's right. How much does it cost to live? Does a human being's life have worth if they're not generating any income? If you're not out there selling Bitcoin to people or trying to take advantage of people in some market scheme or trying to deny people health care, if you're not making money doing those things, is your life still worth something? How much should you have to earn every day for your life to have value? I think every human being has a value, an innate value, and we need to stand up for their rights. We need to make sure that every human being can thrive and survive in this richest, most powerful country in the world, in this fourth largest economy of the world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. We need to stand up for human rights. Say, your life has worth. Your life has meaning. We want to help you to be the person you want to be. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, we want everybody to follow their dream and make sure they achieve their goals. And hopefully we can achieve great things together as human beings here in this democracy, in this democratic republic. And right here in Santa Monica, we need to make sure that we are getting more people involved in our democracy right here. We got a little bit of an oligarchy happening right here in Santa Monica. We got too many people working in Santa Monica that do not have a voice in our democracy here in Santa Monica. And we have a lot of homeless people that are residents of Santa Monica that are not given a voice in our democracy. I'm a homeless person, and my address is with the people concerned over there on Olympic Boulevard, and it's been there since 2021. I shifted it to Step Up for a little bit because it was more convenient for getting mail, but my address has been here in Santa Monica since 2021, and I am a homeless human being. And we need to make it easier for these homeless human beings to be able to be part of our democracy right here. And we need to make it easier for people who work in Santa Monica to be able to live in Santa Monica and participate in our democracy here. Because there are too many people voting to keep the people working in Santa Monica out of the democracy here. They don't want them to vote for things like building affordable housing on the Santa Monica airport property when it is given to the city. They don't want people to vote for that. And they don't want the people that work here to have a say in what happens. And that's a shame. We need to keep working towards a better democracy here in Santa Monica and here in California and here in the United States of America. We need to stand up for the rights of those people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given a voice in our democracy. We need to find a pathway to citizenship for those up to 20 million people who have been living in the shadows for generations, been used for their labor and not been given their rights because of quotas to certain countries. Because people don't want too many minorities in this country. That's what they've said for generations. And that's why they've made it hard for these people to find a pathway to citizenship. And we need to speak up for their rights, as well as the homeless people here in Santa Monica and those in need. Cantai no llores porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Everybody sing along. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. Hey, that's right. We got to keep working towards a better day for everybody because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to the place where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Thank you, peace. If you're a Santa Monica voter, I will be running for Santa Monica City Council again this year.
I got you.
And I hope you get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on the airport property. So we can integrate a little more here in Santa Monica. We need to keep integrating because it's kind of segregated here. When you push the poor people out, you're working towards segregation. Because when you push the poor people out, you're pushing out a lot of people of color. We got to keep working towards a better day. And that's why I say, how much does it cost to live? How much should you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? Tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive? How hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful, most abundant country on the face of the earth? How much does a rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the day? When will we see the end of the day? When human beings have to sleep in the street? How much, how much, how much, how much, how much, how much? I know life is hard. I know people say, well, you know, not everything's going to be easy. Oh, that's fine. People are going to go through rough times, even if they do have the basics. People are going to go through struggles and sickness and sadness, and we're not going to fix everything. Of course not. But we can keep working towards a more perfect union. We can keep working towards a better day for everybody. And we can make sure that everybody has a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. These aren't beyond us here in the richest, most powerful country in the world. Thank you. Peace. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. How you doing tonight?
Just
Huh?
trying to find something to see.
Trying to find something?
Enjoyment.
Enjoyment in the city. Well, I hope you find some enjoyment. Are you a Santa Monica voter?
Okay.
Are you a voter in the city of Santa Monica? A voter? A registered voter in Santa Monica? No, okay. I'm going to be running for Santa Monica City Council again. I want to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. So I thank you for your donation. I'll be sharing that with the homeless people here in Santa Monica. We need to keep standing up for human rights, even though this is a good place to come if you're a tourist. Tonight is kind of quiet, of course, but there's a little fun in the town, and it's a beautiful place to walk, even so, right? Yeah, it's very nice, but we need to tell this city that they don't need to criminalize poverty and homelessness, because that's not the way to make things better for human beings. So that's why I'm out here, and that's why I'm going to be running for Santa Monica City Council again this year, because we got to keep speaking out. Thank you. Peace. That's right. Life can be hard, but we can keep making things better. There'll be tears you'll cry, and your troubles won't be few. There'll be sunny days, and you'll have some good laughs too. But put a song in your heart. Walk on down the road. There'll be lonely times when you will not find a friend. You'll feel a lover's kiss, and then the kiss and time will end. So put a song in your heart. Walk on down that road. You see the road ahead has so many turns. You'll never see what's coming just around the bend. There'll be lots of bumps along the way. Just take a step at a time till you get to the end. There'll be those who say you were born to lose. You'll be on top of the world one day, and then the next you'll sing the blues. So put a song in your heart and walk on down that road. You see the road ahead has so many turns. You'll never see what's coming just around the bend. There'll be lots of bumps along the way. Just take a step at a time till you get to the end. There'll be those who say you're born to lose. You'll be on top of the world one day, and the next you sing the blues. So put a song in your heart and walk on down the road. Just put a song in your heart and walk on down the road. Walk on down the road. Walk on down the road. Get on down the road, down. Hey, That's right. Life is going to have its ups and downs. It's going to have its bumps. Everybody knows that. We can't control everything, but we can ask our government to do a better job and make sure that human beings can have the basics, that we can help people through the hard times. You know, I sure wish we didn't have to see any more commercials for children who need funding for surgeries and medical expenses. I mean, we live in the richest, most powerful country in the world. We can afford to make sure that every little child who needs medical services gets it. That should be part of the budget. That shouldn't be a question anywhere. We should make sure that every human being in this United States of America who gets sick, who the basic health care is able to take care of their needs. I'm not talking about every experimental surgery and every experimental drug in the world, but all of the basics, all the things we know how to do, they should be paid for. No little kid should have to worry about whether or not they're going to have enough funding for their surgeries or whether some hospital has enough funding. We can make sure that everybody has the basics. We can make sure that every veteran has a decent place to live and have their needs taken care of. We shouldn't have to worry about programs that build the basics for our veterans or people in need. Veterans should be taken care of all the time. They shouldn't have to ask anybody. And we can have the basics for people, for the rest of the human beings here in the United States as well. Thank you. Peace.
You gonna play something?
Well, I might play a little. Yeah, I'll play a little something. Hey. Excuse me, but don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was dancing and singing, ringing the bells, and lovers rolling around all the lawn. But then I came to, and what did I see? A bunch of sad sack faces all staring at me, saying, get to work, boy, had nothing for free. Hey, where's my party going on? Excuse me, but don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party right around here. And there was jumping and bumping and playing guitars and people drinking lots of beer. But then I came to, and what did I see? A bunch of sad sack faces all staring at me, saying, we ain't having no fun, boy, why should you be? Hey, where's my party going on? Sometimes I think maybe they're all right. I should work all day and sleep all night. But I get so tired right around the morning light. Excuse me, but don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was laughing and acting the fool and everybody going till dawn. But then a bright light flashed, and what did I see? A big old dude with a badge shining his light down on me, saying, party's over, boy, someplace you wanna be. Hey, where's my party going on? Sometimes I think maybe they're all right. I should work all day and sleep all night. But I get so tired right around the morning light. Excuse me, but don't take it seriously. I thought there was a party going on. And there was dancing and singing and ringing the bells and everybody going till dawn. But then I walked through the fog, and what did I see? A big old bony finger dude pointing down at me, saying, the party's over, boy, now time to come with me. It was my party going on. I said the party's over, now time to come with me. It was my party going on. I said the party's over, now time to come with me. It was my party going on. Take a think of peace. Thank you. My name's Wade. What's your name? John? Josh. Nice to meet you, Josh. Are you a Santa Monica voter, Josh? Well, Josh, my name is Wade Kelley, and I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again this year. My name is Wade Kelley, and I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again this year because I am the only one. I spoke at a forum last night, the Wilmont forum, neighborhood forum, and there were 11 candidates who spoke, and I was the only one out of 11 that would propose to use any of that airport property when it's given to the city in 2028 to build affordable housing. Use 25%, that's 44 acres of land, to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on the airport property. That still leaves 148 acres for a great park. So we need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative, and I'm the only one who is standing up for that, and we need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. Thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. Nice to meet you. Wade, W-A-D-E. Great to meet you, Josh. I will hope to see you as I'm getting more towards the election. We don't file the papers till July 13th, but they had this neighborhood forum last night. I guess they wanted to start raising funds for some of their candidates. And thank you. You have a good night. Peace. And we need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative in Santa Monica this year. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative in Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody should hear about in Santa Monica. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. I think I had this song written. I'll have to listen to how it goes. I'm going to start singing it again. I hope we get it on the ballot. We were collecting signatures for it, and I don't think we got enough signatures to get it on this year's ballot, but I hope we did. If not, they can continue to take signatures until August 17th and get it on the ballot in 2028. But we need to keep moving forward because we haven't gotten there yet. A friend of mine passed away, Dave Kearns. He loved rock and roll, but he also loved Mario Lanza. I remember we used to listen to some Mario Lanza records. Be My Love, but this is a Mario Lanza song. With a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face. Just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your grace. When the music swells, I'm holding your hand. It tells me you're standing near, and with the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to be? Yet I always knew I would live life through with a song in my heart for you. Thank you, please. With a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face. Just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your grace. When the music swells, I'm touching your hand. It tells me you're standing near, and with the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to be? Yet I always knew I would live life through with a song in my heart for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, please, thank you.
Are you making requests?
Probably not, but I'm out here basically to stand up for human rights. I'm going to be running for Santa Monica City Council again this year here in Santa Monica. So I hope you'll get behind me because I want to stand up for the rights of human beings, the homeless human beings and others that Santa Monica is criminalizing. They criminalize poverty, and we need to stand and tell everybody to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on the airport property when they close it down. And so that's 25% of that property, and that would still leave 148 acres for a great park. So we need to build affordable housing because more people in Santa Monica who work in Santa Monica need to be able to live in Santa Monica. And we also need housing for seniors and homeless human beings instead of criminalizing them. So thank you very much. Thank you.
What are you singing now?
Well, now I will sing a song for you. I will sing a song for you that well, I'll sing a little love song for you, that one that I didn't write. You can dance to this one. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more, like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violin long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesito una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia para mí, para ti. Ay, arriba, arriba. Ay, arriba, arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, necesito una poca de gracia. Una poca de gracia para mi partida, arriba, arriba. Ay, arriba, arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba. Oh, shake it up, baby. A twist and shout. Come on, baby. I'm working on out. I twist so good. I twist so fine. Come on and twist a little closer, baby. Let me out of your mind. Para bailar la bamba. Para bailar la bamba. Se necesito un poco de gracia, una poco de gracia para mí, para ti. Ahí arriba, arriba, ahí arriba, arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Bam, ba, bam, ba. Thank you. Peace. That's right. Let's keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for us all, and keep standing up for the rights of human beings, especially those that are in need. We need to tell our leaders right here in Santa Monica to stop criminalizing homelessness and start building more affordable housing, safe spaces for homeless people to pitch tents and have 24-hour secure restrooms and showers and people to help them find services that they need instead of forcing them into programs that they may not want and may not need and into jail. A lot of people are being 72% of all the arrests last year here in Santa Monica were of homeless human beings. We have to move in a better direction. We have to move towards human rights and tell people to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative right here in Santa Monica. And in California, we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. That's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California. It's a step in the right direction, and we need to tell all of our candidates for governor to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act, or we can't vote for you. So let's tell them all. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. And I will be running this year for the Santa Monica City Council so I can speak up for the rights of human beings and the initiative to build affordable housing on the Santa Monica Airport property. We need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. And there must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in the sky, more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh, there must be peace and understanding somewhere. Strong winds of promise that blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun, where hope shine down on everyone, tell me why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud, we took my train. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. Deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, feeling my dream come true right now, right now. Peace. I'm gonna be gone for a couple days. I'll be back on Monday, most likely.